Hello, hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me, 𝐸𝐈𝐆𝐇𝐋𝐈𝐆𝐇𝐋𝐈𝐆𝐇𝐓𝒄, for another episode of our CSM Practice podcast, where we talk about tactical tips on how to do customer success better. Today, I have somebody all the way from Brazil. She's Argentinian, actually, and came to Brazil for love. So you already know she's a fantastic person. Her name is Bárbara Pugliese. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. I'm awesome. I'm very happy to be here.
When you're not falling in love, raising a wonderful family in Brazil, you're a team manager for customer success.
It doesn't even feel like a job. It's like something that I enjoy very much.
Is it because of the what you do, the people you do it with, the culture of the company?
It's mixture. I think that our community is so giving, so selfless that whatever you do, you have many eyes and just watching you doing things better and helping you. You cannot do less than better than what you are today and share it. That's amazing. I love that culture.
Tell me a little bit about your team. What kind of clients do you work with, and what kind of problems do you help them solve?
I do have a team of around 10 CSMs. We are high touch. We have many companies that are on the financial industry. They are big corporations above 2,000 employees in general and are distributed around the world. So our customers usually struggle with time zones, many cultures inside them, and working at different paces. And what we do for them is support on the financial software. We help them with their support and enhancements of their IT systems.
Would you say it's a services company as well as technology company?
We do have products that we offer together with our services, but mainly I belong to the managed service practice.
Amongst other things that people may or may not know about you is that you're very data driven.
Yes, I think that that's a duty that is attached to the CSM team. We struggle harder than other teams to prove our value. The best way to prove our value, besides the things that comes with our role, like being empathetic and trying to get the most of the relationship with the customer, something that is more on the soft science. We also have to deal with the proving of our value, which is a hard science. So we at my team try to lean on that side, collect as much information as possible to be able to show those changes that the team produces.
And lately, you actually created one more initiative that helped you get closer to that goal. What was it that you've established, if you don't mind, like in a maybe 30 seconds, give us the high level overview of what did you do?
I read one article that you wrote regarding churn and how important it is to anticipate those and understand if they were expected or if they were avoidable.
Yeah, that was a poll that I've done on LinkedIn.
Exactly. So that inspired me and said, well, we really have a lot of accounts and we are not so many. We need to be strategic and focused on how to address the issues that made our customers churn. We created this system with assigning the scores for one of each categories, avoidability and expectation, with a couple of questions, one for each. Positive, yes, it's 1 point, no is 0. And then that would provide you a graphic, a dispersion graphic, a plot that will help you not only understand where is the concentration of your accounts once they left and consequently solve your issues, but also to have the names of the accounts, in what category they will fall.
What kind of insights did you get out of that exercise?
We have insights. We didn't have them. Before that, we weren't actually applying any kind of postmortem service, which that is something that it's very important to have. The offboarding part of the CSM is not something that everybody is talking about, but as much as the onboarding side, that's an important step because it allows you to do better, to correct your ways. what we've had is a concentration of unavoidable and unexpected turns, which was a really thing to have. But on the ones that we could have avoided, which were the lesser amount of accounts, we've had interesting insights and things that could be easily corrected. So those are important outcomes of changing our ways.
Were you able to save any accounts out of that exercise because you were detecting that, there might be something going on here? Or did you actually leverage these insights to change a strategy within the organization so that you mitigate the risk better and diminish the amount of cases that you have from that specific reason?
Following up that information that I gathered, I started working on a different project, which is the trend of usage of our support. That's where we have bigger insights because what we have an historical trend of where customers are doing, and we now know what that means. We know that it's a potential risk. So now we know that that is important to correct. So what I'm doing, I'm introducing this, I wouldn't say a problem because it's a potential problem, this risk to my leadership, because that is going to integrate another set of teams to work on this project. So it's not something that the CSM can do alone. That's what we are working on at the moment.
I think that's very smart. I have another client that did a similar exercise. And then what they found is that some customers, like if they're in a chat, it takes more than an hour for them to get somebody to reply, sometimes even 2 hours. Imagine like you're online and you submit a chat, hey, I need help. You don't get a response, not for like a minute, like a whole 45 minutes to an hour. That's sometimes the clients would submit an email and ask for a resolution, and that would take definitely more than an hour to get back to them. And I'm not talking about the automated one, but sometimes like a day or two. So those are the kind of insights that they've gotten out of that exercise. And let me tell you, the CEO went gun blazing. They completely set new KPIs for the team, dug in to see why these issues are happening, retrained the team, came up with a different process. Lo and behold, he just reported that they got their monthly churn reduced by half
Oh my
just doing
God.
that.
Wow. That's an amazing success story. I hope that I can get similar results going forward in the future. In our case, working with the managed system or the managed service sector, all our efforts are measured in amount of hours that are sold to the customers and the ones that we actually provide or we actually work, but not necessarily the value that the customer collects out of that. That's a metric that is important for the CSM, but it's not that up there in the priorities, usually in the metrics that usually a managed service provider has. That's another item to work on. So how many hours invested in providing an outcome that is valuable to your customer will get you out of the churning zone?
$1 million question. By the way, you might find that there's not a clear positive correlation between the two. But if you did that analysis, what you will find is that there's some use cases that you can implement quickly and some that are a little bit more complicated. And I think I talked about it in the first value delivered framework video that I've done with Rocket Lane a bunch of years ago. And I said, look, when you're just starting out with a customer or they're in a bad shape, kind of want to recommend those that are actually quick to see, like the quick wins. And you probably want to do more than one or two just to establish trust. And so I think that's the kind of insight you're going to get when you track those types of things.
Correct. We do have those kind of experiences. I expect us to get a little bit more wiser allocating resources. Who is going to work, do what, and in what time frame, and what is going to be the priority for a certain period of time. So those are the things that where the CSM needs some additional help from other team members, other departments. At least what I expect to get from this whole investigation, this whole research is excitement towards working to achieve a collective goal.
Love that. I think it'll also help with productivity and reducing what we call cost to serve ratio. One of the things you shared with me in advance to this conversation is a referral advocacy tracking. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Why did you do it? What was the challenge you were trying to solve for?
One of the challenges that I've seen is that we usually don't get our nice toys up front, not like other teams. So we have to be greedy on how we can collect that information. So the first item that I showed was this churning graphic, and the other one was the referral. The referral is a way to focus our team on how to collect that information that will create the success cases to expand our accounts with other customers, showcasing the good work that we have done with other customers inside. And the other one is, of course, publicity or broadcasting, using our customers advocates of our service. The problem is that you need to understand if those cases that you're pursuing are the ones that are worth to pursue, and that is going to be achievable. If the customer for some internal policies is not going to be able to recommend you, let's say for confidentiality terms, or it really doesn't work that your little CSM team goes pursuing those activities. We are not saying that you cannot have quiet conversation between friends, making contacts between those customers. That's different. I'm discussing like referral in a very public way, like printing their logos and doing interviews and these kind of things. So it's all about being more efficient with the resources that you have and making data work for you. It's something that it's already available. It's just asking the correct questions. This referral program in particular, we am using like 4 P's to qualify the referral, which would be potential, probability, performance, and priority. The same way I am assigning a score to each one of these categories, potential, probability, and performance, then I will get the priority and understand if they are a good referral or they are not. In case they are and they have potential to be a referral, I will instruct my CSMs to nurture that relationship.
I would love to showcase the what you sent me so that everybody can benefit. Like, first of all, how beautiful that is. I wanted to ask you, maybe you could walk us through what were you thinking when you were building this, and maybe you can kind of walk us through the structure here and why did you include these parts?
For this, the referral card focus my team in getting those success cases that will provide us with further business. This is the part where the CSM is providing value to my company. That's the whole thing behind this. You are not only providing value to your customers, you have to remember that you have to provide value to your company as well. If you find here, you will have the potential, the probability, and the performance. And they are very 3 simple questions. Can the customer in fact refer? Because if they cannot, the score is going to be very low with that. And consequently, the priority to work on that is going to be low. The probability, if they're not happy with the support at all, or they might be happy, they are not at the moment, that is also going to give us a low score that we can work on. We can nurture that account if we think that is going to provide us or will bring us more business. And then the performance, how are they performing at the moment? And this is related to if they have referred before. Have they offered? They haven't yet, or they are usually a good reference for us to call whenever we need. They are very open to talk about our services, and that's how the performance plays a role there. And then I get the priority and segment, and then I will be able to create a 30, 60, and 90 program. 30, 60, 90 days to work with the customer, nurturing them until we are ready to send that success story signed by the legal team and all these fine things that marketing takes care of.
Why did you come up with this form from the get go? What kind of problem were you trying to solve with this? Like before, you had like different things that you could do, and just the team wasn't prioritizing properly, or you weren't feeling like you're putting a lot of effort and you didn't feel like you were getting the most out of that exercise?
Well, we are coming from a different role, and at the moment we are adopting the CSM role in a traditional way. For my company, what we used to have was a business relationship management role. That and the account management role are focused in different things. The account management in the sales business and business relationship management in getting everything to the liking of the customer, but they're rather reactive role, not as strategic as the CSM and not focused in neither providing value to the customer nor to our company. They're rather settled with the minimal request, which is to accomplish the contract. What we are trying to do at the moment is adopting this role of the CSM and try to bring business from the CSM side to my company at the same time that we continue to provide service to our customers, making sure that their contract is being fulfilled, but also their value or what they expect their value to be from the business with my company. So that's where we are at the moment.
Wow, that's amazing. So, how long has it been since you started using this referral advocacy form?
Actually, not much. We've just started using that. We haven't even completed the 60 days, but we're getting there. We've had that transition from the previous role to the new role back in January.
What's the feedback so far from CSMs that are using this form?
Well, they're very enthusiastic about changing their traditional role, not being behind support tickets, behind escalations, and having this long-term view of the customer relationship. I think that is providing my team with a new or fresh air of what they can become. It's interesting seeing how they all have their different ideas on how to do it. So that's where we're at.
Well, what I like about this is that it's not about let's do this initiative with a customer so that they renew, but it's rather if you did this initiative, or what would it take? What kind of initiatives can we do in the 30, 60, 90 days so that they become an advocate? I think that's up leveling the stakes.
I think that we don't have an option at the moment. I'm not talking about me specifically, but every CSM that I've been in touch with, they have this directive of you cannot lose any account. Do the max as you can with whatever you have and bring more business to the company. With that in mind, we cannot leave anything aside. We have to bring them all to that level of excellence. We need to be there.
I love that. I think this could be an element that anybody can add into their existing success plan process or even success plan template is to say, okay, here's the success plan that we're thinking that would get them to this outcome, but can we look at it and say, will they advocate at the end of it? And obviously there's some external elements like have they done a advocacy before, but also do we have everything we need to take it from just getting to the outcome to get them to be an advocate and obviously renew. So I think that that's cool because it puts the CSMs in the right mindset.
Yes, definitely. If we think about the customer journey as this graphic that you've been seeing for a long time, you know, that this is a continuum. The value of the customer
The
success
value
that,
continuum. I usually say cycle, but it's really a continuum. It should be like an infinity.
and the last part is that how you can retrofit all this cycle. The advocacy part is the one that gives you the impulse to the next round of that cycle.
Barbara, you remind me why I started this new customer success mastermind, the customer method program, just launched in May 2024. I wanted to bring in people just like you that are in the trenches trying to solve problems, coming up with playbooks and templates and start sharing it with one another, like celebrate our wins and celebrate the innovations that we're bringing into our company, but also share it with others. And I think that's such a tremendous thing that you've done. I love, 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 love that.
Oh, well, you're a big inspiration. I would say you inspire a lot of people, me in particular, but we also have this in mind. None of us is here standing alone. We are all standing on the job of previous colleagues. And yours has been very big impulse, but I also have so many people that are willing to help and provide their inputs. I hope that I can give back just a little bit of what I've received.
So, so amazing. I love, love, love that about you. And Barbara, thank you so much for coming in and showcasing what you've done, maybe to kind of like as a farewell gift to everyone, what are some of the things that you love to leverage to get better at customer success and learn best practices?
Learning from the experts, like go there, so accessible. You have the CSM practice. We also have so many others are there in LinkedIn publishing and sharing their goals, their wins. Go there, interact with them, send over a message, put yourself out there. Don't be an island and don't let it bite the back of your head for a long day. Just put it out there. I'm sure that there would be a lot of amazing people willing to contribute with your wins as well.
Absolutely. And if you're too shy to do it on LinkedIn, because then all your coworkers see it too, join the mastermind. This is a safe, closed community for people to share, submit and ask, respond, share creativity. Enough with the shameless plugs. If you do want to check it out, there's an application form or a link to an application form in the comments below. Click it, submit the form. If you are a good fit for the mastermind, I'll send you all the links and you can join us. And with that, Bárbara, you're so amazing. Thank you so much for today. This was definitely my favorite interview for the month. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much. You're too kind.
Hey, everyone. If you enjoyed today's conversation, you learned something new, you got inspired. Hey, this form is quick to implement. Try it yourself, see what comes up for you. If you want the form, you want to look, you want to do more, reach out to Bárbara. I'm sure she'll be able to share it with you. If you really, really like this session and you want to give Bárbara a thank you, put it in the comments below because she's really awesome. And with that, it's a wrap. I'll see you on the next video.